5051 Michigan is a grassroots organization attempting to bring people together across any different aisle, any different dividing line that we can in order to fight fascism. What we're trying to bring attention to here today is the rise of fascism through the Trump administration and the constant stripping of human rights via executive orders. A large portion is about removing Donald Trump, about getting things that he's been enacting out of our government. But what Trump is a symptom of the disease that is fascism. The far right is trying to effectively take over, a corporatocracy is being put into place, and it isn't about right and left. Those are false dividing lines. I've got no difference between myself as a liberal or leftist than I do from any, average right-leaning person. Where the line is drawn is between us as the working class and the people like Donald Trump, the people like Elon Musk that are effectively trying to gouge out our rights and then replace them with a corporate state that basically buys everything. And oligarchy taking over our country was something that kind of slipped under the radar, and I think a lot of it had to do with our inaction, our complacency, and that's a big part of what we're doing here, is we're trying to reinstill a sense of civic duty. This country came up and became great because regular citizens felt that it was important for them to retain their freedoms by acting. And we need to act because the people that are in positions of power right now are not representing us. They're representing moneyed interests, and we need to be represented by people who will echo our thoughts, not those of corporations. So the need for government efficiency is definitely something everybody can agree on. We don't like waste. We don't want to see our tax dollars, going to things that aren't going to help us. But the problem is with this government efficiency push is this is not government efficiency that they're trying to enact. This is cutting support systems, cutting our safety nets under the guise of government efficiency. There are ways that we can make things efficient. There are ways that we can add to our programs in order to make them more efficient. This is just a mass. They're destroying the Department of Education, the Department of Health and Human Services. These are things we need. There's no sense of efficiency when we're talking about the parts of our government that make sure that an average person can live the life they need to live. Their end goal to me is fairly clear. If the current administration has their way, in the next couple of years, we won't have open voting. We will have a full-on oligarchy. We are seeing fascism enacted. We're going to see a state that decides what they think is best for people with no input from those people. We cannot allow that. What I would say to independent voters, what I would say to people on the right, people who wouldn't normally come out here, the youth that maybe feel disaffected, is this matters. There are people that are here willing to fight for you. There are people that are willing to fight for me. The only way that we're going to defeat this is if we all come together. We need every able-bodied person and every disabled person to come out here, because the 99% versus 1% stat that is always bandied about doesn't mean anything unless the 99% coalesce and do something active about it. We're people who have 9-to-5 jobs. We're people that do work outside of this, and if we can do it, then anybody can.